Hello guys, welcome in. This is Cleo and my tarot station is created for you to pull in messages from the divine to help you create the reality of your dreams. Now I've got a soul group message, so I hope it's a good one, and I do apologize for being away so long. You guys know I miss you so much when I'm gone, but I'm doing as many videos as I possibly can before I get back into my normal routine, and I can't go into too much detail, but thank you for being here and thank you for all your lovely contributions. I really appreciate you. I'm going to dive straight in and see what this important message is all about. Now, for those who don't know, soul group is the spiritual group of people comprised of those beings who've decided to be in a soul group, which means that you come back onto the earth plane, you incarnate, and you always magnetically find your way back towards these people. You always find your way back to them. And, these are the beings that you're closest to over many incarnations. And, you could call it spiritual family, soul tribe. These are the beings you know the best. And these are the beings who are most compatible with you, despite your variations and your differences. And these are the beings who are cut from the same cloth as you spiritually. So they're very important people. These are the connections we crave. These are the connections we love so much. The people who understand us, the people who get us, and the people we just vibe with. So that's for those who don't know what soul group is. And I'm going to dive straight in. Spirit guides, angels, higher beings, please can we have ancestors? I want to be brought into that. Ancestors too, please can we have the soul group message that you wish to get across to my viewer? Please can you give us the cards for this message? Wow, okay, I'm hearing the ultimate here, okay, and I'm actually getting the Diantwood song through, and some people pronounce that Diantwood, all right? I don't know if you know that band, but you're effing with the ultimate. That's what I'm getting here. So I feel like your soul group are epic. Your soul group are really kind of badass, really kind of, I'm hearing top of the food chain, but I'm also getting a jokey kind of message with this, top of the morning. So there could be someone Irish in your soul group, something like that. The sun's coming out for you all, okay? And I'm hearing it's going to be playtime very soon. On the next turn of the wheel, you're going to be coming into contact with these most important people, and it could be that you meet one person first and then the others are kind of introduced to you later on, or you bump into them later on. But this is the start of your ultimate journey. This is the start of the biggest, most important, most beautiful phase of your entire life. So much so they want me to put this up in the middle here, okay? So this is the ultimate phase that you're moving into. And, I feel like you've really kind of gotten to know who you are. You really vibe with yourself now. And it's when we start to learn to really love our own company and really know ourselves that we end up on this high frequency kind of level of being where we have to come into contact with those beings who are most like us and find our squad. So I'm getting that this is what's happening for you. You've done some amazing inner work, I'm getting. But this is just really about you loving yourself and liking yourself. And they want me to remind you that being high frequency doesn't mean being happy all the time. All right, it just means your consciousness has reached a very refined kind of level. So you could be a moody mofo, but your consciousness, the way you pick up on data in the universe, it's very refined. And, you've gotten yourself up to the top of the pyramid of consciousness. So it doesn't mean being a happy hippie all day long. It just means that you see things in a very refined way, in a very intelligent way, and that you vibrate at a very high frequency of understanding. And also that you transmute and move through things in a very kind of refined kind of way, a sophisticated way, so you don't get stuck on problems anymore. You don't spend all your time analyzing things necessarily. Maybe if there's a perceived problem, you don't get caught in those emotions. You can see it from a higher vantage point very quickly, and you move forward in a smooth kind of way. You did all that maybe when you were younger, those things. I'm hearing the first cuts, the deepest, those things that sort of stop us in our tracks when we're younger. For a high frequency individual, and I'm getting mature and old souls in your soul group, they don't catch you, in the same way. So you move through things in a very sophisticated and mature way. Your level of understanding is very intelligent and very... You're very good at understanding things, and understanding is what transmutes the energy and gets you to this high level that you're now on. I hope that makes sense. Someone needs to know you don't have to be in a good mood all the time to be high frequency. You just have to be highly intelligent and be able to understand lots of things, which helps you move the energy in situations that you're in and stops you getting stuck in the mud, if that makes sense. So let's see what's going on with your ultimate soul group. On this ultimate pathway, the pathway is just going to open up for you in a really obvious and really gorgeous and really beautiful way. We've got the Six of Wands, Leo energy, victory. And this is your crowning glory. This is your moment in the sun. Again, we've got 4 suns on this card with the beautiful big wheel of destiny right there. And you're ready to spin it, I feel. You know, the cogs are whirring in the background, in the non-physical realms. The universe is cheering you on. And they want me to say the word rooting for you, even though we don't use that word over here. But, you know, this is you on your high horse with your wand of power and your wreath. You've done something very victorious. You've earned some sort of victory in your soul that's opening this pathway up for you beautifully and majestically. And you're going to feel it. Maybe you're getting instincts right now. Maybe there are signs that something big is happening. I'm hearing that song. Ooh, I just know that something good is going to happen. Ooh, right? So it's like you just know, you're getting that feeling, that buzz in the air. It's like electrons are buzzing, the magic is stirring, and you know the universe is fully on your side. I feel like some of you can really feel that the universe is cooking up something magical for you, and it's because these are the connections of a lifetime. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here. So this would indicate to me your heart being really satisfied in the physical realm and feeling really at home in this next leg of your journey. All right, let's get another one out. Capricorn energy here. This is like you getting nurtured in a way you've never experienced before. Being around people who really just make you feel instantly comfortable. This is like that instant click where you just kind of know you've known these people before. And you can feel their energy even across the room. You'll be able to feel these people's energy across the room. You know, when you go to a party and you just know who you're going to get along with and who you won't get along with. Your energetic receptivity is off the charts here. Because you surely are an advanced soul. That's what I'm getting here. 7 of Cups energy. Lots of options coming out on the table, and the Ace of Cups here. So it's like you're going to be so bombarded with love and with fun and with magic and with adventure and with just things sort of dumped on your lap that are just wonderful. This could be new for you. You know, these people are going to treat you in a way that no one else could compete with or compare with. So you're going to have love poured all over you here. Love in so many different formats. And I feel like it's just going to feel amazing. And it could just come out of nowhere like this dove flying downwards. You know, this is a gift from the gods. And this sort of thing doesn't happen every day. So all of you, you know, in your soul group have really aligned in a beautiful way. And you're going to meet in the middle right here. There could be 8 members in your soul group. It varies from person to person. But I'm getting, you know, for this moment to come together, this doesn't happen for a lot of people. This is like kismet, they're saying. This is like synchronicity. This is like serendipity. This is like you all being in the right place at the right time, having been faithful to your own pathways. You know, you've held the course of following your higher selves in a really beautiful way. And this doesn't happen every day. And it certainly doesn't happen every lifetime, where you all come together and you're all aligned and you're all glorious. And Spirit's saying, you know, it's because, you know, the world is doing so well now. People understand themselves so well. And we only live in our minds, right? So people's minds have tuned to such an advanced level that this is now possible. But maybe it wasn't possible in your last life. Maybe a couple of you knew each other. Maybe you were in different parts of the world, something like that. But this time it's all of you combined. You've done it. Every single one of you has crossed that line, you know, has gone through. They're showing me a race where you got to go through, you know, the finish line. Every single one of you has done that spiritually. Hence the victory card and the Ace of Cups. You're going to be keeping each other entertained for the rest of your lives is what I'm getting here. I am intrigued with this Queen of Pentacles because I just feel like one of you is very motherly, very nurturing. This could be you or someone coming in. But there's most definitely a mother figure here. This could be a man with very nurturing qualities. Regardless, this is an energy of someone really holding things together, being the glue, and really making everyone feel at home. You could even move in together in an alternative kind of way. I definitely feel like you're going to be living near each other, something like that. One of you is about to get on a plane. They're saying your trip is going to be beautiful. Have fun. 7 of Swords energy here. The Emperor. And the 8 of Wands. So I feel like maybe for you, you've had your authority tested a lot in the past, and this will be something you're flying away from. All right. I feel like maybe you've had a lot of trickery. There's something you're moving away from here with the 7 of Swords that you're going to be very relieved you moved away from. I feel like this meeting and this congregation of souls is going to really kind of free you from any entrapments in your former life. And this speaks of someone with great authority who's really been tested. Yeah, the Devil energy. Someone who's really been tested. It's like everything that was unholy wanted to keep you away from this meeting in the middle, sacred meeting point. Sanctus Sanctorum, I'm getting. Everything on earth wanted to keep you from this, because when great minds come together like this and they tune to the same frequency, that's when the magic happens. So if one player was missing, the game wouldn't work properly, because you're all such advanced souls. Bringing your consciousnesses together in such a beautiful way is going to make you manifestational geniuses. It's going to make your power so much more than the sum of its parts. But if you were missing from your soul group, they wouldn't be half as powerful. It only works when every member of the group is present. And I feel like there have been nasty energies that really wanted to stop this happening, because they can't compete with your power when you're all together. So you may have noticed that certain things have tried to distract you and pull you away from, this journey. And it could be a literal journey you're about to go on, where you're going to meet these wonderful people or rejoin up with your true clan, your true spiritual allies that your soul has missed, that your soul has craved. But I really feel like, there have been some hijinks here where certain energies really wanted to stop you getting together with your sacred gang. I'm hearing a real sacred bunch. You're a real sacred bunch. Because they know that together you can move mountains, and they know that together you are unstoppable. So I'm getting that the enemy team, and that includes any narcissist, there are only 2 teams on this earth, the heartful and the dead of heart, the narcissist versus the sacred heartful beings. So the dead-hearted ones have been trying to stop this emperor, and this could be you. It could represent every member of your team, because you're all spiritual authorities of your own lives. But you've all been tested, I feel like, to, get distracted off your pathway, but you're also rare and unique. I'm getting that word alternative again. And it's almost like you're going to be creating your own world together, because that world, see the words coming out again, that world they're trying to say, maybe you all escaped from the lower world, which is only held in the mind. So escaping the lower world means getting away from certain people that vibrate at a very low frequency and refusing to join your sacred storyline in with theirs. Because when you're around a narcissist, they suck you onto their storyline. You know how they have to be the leading role of everything? Yeah, that's a metaphysical thing, where they're like a black hole. And the minute you get a certain level of closeness to them, they suck you onto their storyline, you see. So I feel like every member of your soul group, you've been tested with players in the game who wanted to trap you in their storyline and stop you getting into this supreme, uplifted, powerful group of people who can manifest anything they want. And I do feel like together, you're going to create a whole new world together and really affect this world in a most beautiful way. But I feel like, each and every one of you has had to cut off Queen of Swords energy, these sneaky contenders. I'm hearing the word contenders. So maybe you've noticed that people compete over you, or you've made friends with people and they act like they own you, stuff like that. It's because instinctively they were playing for the enemy team and they wanted to claw you away from this glorious union. Someone could still be going through that. They're saying, you know, if it feels at all iffy, it's a no, you know. If it's not a definite yes, it's a no. Those are the rules of law of attraction. And I feel like, you know, Seven of Swords coming out here shows me how powerful and glorious your soul group is. And once you touch down with each other on a physical level, your power cannot be stopped. So yeah, there have been energies that have really tried to pull you off course. But I can see 8 wands here. Like I was saying, there could be 8 in your soul group and you're all aligned. We should see this going up, really. You're all aligned with the upright. You're all following your hearts. You're all really engaged with your higher selves. And no one can own you. But I feel like, you know, being as special as you are and glowing with light the way you do, certain energies and souls, if we can call them souls, certain beings of the lower kind of being, heartless beings, have really tried to distract you and maybe charm you away from your true pathway. So they're saying, you know, you've earned mastery over this. You can see right through them. And, you know, maybe if you're dealing with someone now who seems to be wanting to distract you from something important to you, it could be because they've got toxic, you know, toxic intentions. And perhaps they're just not even that conscious of why they do what they do, but they're guided by a lower energy. You know, we're always under the influence of something, as Abraham would say. Abraham Hicks. And it seems like you've been around people who are under lower vibrational influences, and they tried to chain you, they tried to entrap you, but you're headed home, all right? You're headed to the home of these other souls, and it kind of feels to me like wherever these people are is home for you. And that's how it is with soul group. They could be in Timbuktu or Siberia or, you know, Hawaii, wherever they are. Being around these people is home for you. Their souls are your home and your soul is their home. And it's a beautiful symbiosis that's absolutely magical. Let's have a look at this 6 of Wands. Show me. Ooh. Yeah, there's definitely been some interference, as the greatest chosen ones always get this kind of interference from lower entities. Let's say that. Oh my God. The 6 of Wands clarified by the 6 of Wands. How beautiful is that? Victory, clarifying your victory. You've made all the right choices in all the right ways, and you can feel your higher guidance. I'm getting, you're so astute, you're so instinctive, you're so tuned in, tapped in, turned on, tuned in, you know, all those Abraham things. Maybe you even watch Abraham or you study metaphysics, but you've definitely got these beautiful, clear instincts that have guided you to this spot, you know. And there have definitely been some hijinks. I was about to say I'm gonna Google that. So I'm gonna clarify that in a minute. But maybe, you know, these energies have been kind of stalky. Maybe you've had energies Googling you, appearing on your timeline. They're saying watch out for that even at this point, you know, keep it lighthearted, you know. If you don't know straight away that you recognize a soul, and bearing in mind, we could have come across narcissists in previous lives who our soul recognizes because we've already had some sort of battle with them, you know, and they're very sneaky with energy. They can take your energy from your magnetic field when you first meet them and reflect that back at you. They're saying be very aware of that. If you get a weird instinct about someone, even if they seem really charming, there's a siren in the background. I don't know if you heard that. Just to confirm potential danger, even though you're evolved and even though you know what you're doing, they're saying this is prime time for the fakers to come in and try and take your energy from your magnetic field, reflect it back at you and try and pretend to be soul group. So they're saying, you know, your real soul group, you'll be 100% sure about them. You'll just feel this comfort, this homeliness. These ones, they might be charming and they might feel familiar, but that's not the same thing. They're saying if there's even 1% doubt, that ain't the one. They're not the one, all right? So just be very aware of that. Perhaps you've already experienced that, but this is so special, you know. And they're saying if there's any doubt, it's probably a narc trying to pretend to be your soul group, all right? Because the time is right for you to come into your ultimate positioning, and it's going to happen, all right? There's nothing they can do to stop this magnetism. And I do feel like you've been a bit fed up with them because the Emperor can be quite grumpy, you know, dealing with the devil all the time. But these are underlying issues that you're flying away from. You found your authority. I'm getting the reference of a thorn, you know, like It's like you've pulled all the thorns out of your pores now. And you've gone through this kind of obstacle course in the lower world, and now you're flying free. The Fool card, a fresh start with lots of nurturing, clarifying our Queen of Pentacles, lots of growth, lots of beautiful fruit on the trees, and this lovely innocence here with the white rose. So I do feel like, the people coming in, you're just going to recognize them. You're just going to have this rapport with them that nothing can stop and nothing can hinder, and it's going to be really beautiful. And there is a lovely innocence here. Fresh growth with these two little leaves on the card. And of course, the Jester's crown, I would say, where, you've been through some serious stuff here. You really have. But that's all the more reason for you to be fresh in your now moment. Like the Fool, to understand your immortality in every now moment, to hook in to that beautiful magic of the universe and to live life in fresh moments all the time. I feel like something's really getting refreshed for you here, because the divine Fool knows they're immortal. So whatever happens, they're always going to magnetize back around to the right ones, and they're always loved and protected by the divine. So definitely a lovely, victorious, fresh start for you. I'm hearing an end to the confusion, but let's have a look, because this is about options here with this Seven of Cups. Show me. I definitely feel like a new home or a new location could be on the horizon. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. Fresh land I'm getting with this Ace of Pentacles. So you could be going on holiday with this group of people, or you could meet them on holiday. But this is an offer coming in, all right? And maybe people have confused you in the past because, we do have these underlying energies of tension and potential toxicity here. And I do see you holding your ground and being in your power regardless of, whether you had to let people go or whether people tried to make you feel betrayed, because people can do all sorts of things to us. But, it's almost, I'm getting the message with the Emperor that you've had people in your life that tried to put you in a certain role or cast you in a certain position on their storyline. Like if you're around a narcissist and they cheat on you, they want you to feel like the idiot who got cheated on. But I'm feeling this great sense of, hello, you don't define my role on the cosmic stage. I'm immortal. I'm powerful. Forget you. I'm getting this supreme sense of, you don't get to cast me in a role within your life story. Whatever you do to me, it doesn't matter to me. I'm divine. I'm powerful. So I love that. I love the fact that, you haven't let other people's behavior influence how you see yourself, because you're far too powerful for that. But we've got two aces on the table here. New pathway, new fresh love, being loved in new ways, being understood in ways you've never been understood before. Lovely. Three of Pentacles. See all this harmony here. This clockwork sort of cogs that match the other cogs, Because it's all very well being a cog, but your cogs have got to match other cogs in a group setting. And this is the ultimate group setting where you're really gonna blend. Things are really going to get moving because you just click into gear with these people. It's so beautiful, and you've mastered things separately that you're now going to bring together. You could already, have a best friend or something who's already a member of your soul group, and you're going to get additions to this, and you're going to realize together we are manifestational geniuses. We are gods. We create reality. We can create worlds with our minds. We are so powerful in our love. Something like that here. I love the way this is smoothly harmonizing. I'm really seeing the machine being well oiled and running beautifully. The machines of your soul coming together in such a wonderful way and getting things done that you just wouldn't even think of doing alone, despite your authority. This is going to be satisfying. This is going to be really succinctly satisfying. Oh, and you're really going to want to get your teeth stuck into this. It's just beautiful. But, I do feel like there could be an offer coming in for you that really clears out other social offers, because it's so bright and beautiful and obvious with this Ace of Pentacles that it's going to make your pathway so obvious. You're going to feel it in your heart that this is the right offer for you, Or, this could be a meeting with the Ace of Pentacles, something new and fresh where you meet on the same cosmic stage at the same time, in the same moment, because the gods are guiding this, and it's ever so beautiful. Meant to be, the ultimate soul group that is meant to be, I'm getting. 10 of Swords here. Look at this on this 7 of Swords. So, they've done everything they can to stop this soul group coming together, but they're not God. And they have zero power because they're heartless, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. You are literally watched and guided. I'm getting the all-seeing eye coming through here. You know, you're watched by such high, divine, beautiful forces. You've gained so many spiritual allies through so many lifetimes. Because of the frequency you're on, you attract in the best. You know, not everyone has the greatest guides, or not everyone is so intently watched like you are. Not everyone attracts in this level of energetic protection like you do. But the frequency you're on pulls in the greatest protectors and the greatest spiritual guides, you know, non-physically, etherically, that this is just destined and just meant to be. No matter what they ever did to you, you always saw them getting their karma. You know, you always saw them getting what they deserved at some point. And if you haven't seen that yet, you will see that. If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to see it, because if they mess with you, they're messing with God's best, and the universe will dish them up something nice and juicy. And that's what I'm getting here. So perhaps you've already noticed that everyone who messes with you gets some crazy stuff happening in their lives. It's because you are advanced, you're chosen, and you're meant to join up with these people, and everything they do to try and stop you just gets them bad repercussions. It gets them spanked by the universe. Not your problem though. You know, I can see that you left those old pathways behind. The old lower world is gone. Ten of Swords is all about, you know, something happening in our lives that shows us, this situation is not for me. And if I was on the right timeline or in the right situation, these situations wouldn't happen. So obviously I've got to change something with all my mighty power to get myself up that pyramid. And I feel like you did it beautifully and perfectly, because everything's feedback. The universe is constantly giving us feedback. And Ten of Swords is the feedback we get when, you know, you can see it as a trampoline. When something happens that actually gives us the motivation to bounce up to a higher level of life. Often people see it as betrayal or something like that, but it's just feedback. It's just frequency feedback. And I feel like you're advanced enough to know that everything happens is a sign. Everything that happens is a sign. And, you know, instead of taking it personally, you use it as reconnaissance. You use it as feedback. Like, okay, so this is letting me know where I stand on this timeline. So I'm going to go to where it feels better. And I feel like you've done that so gracefully so many times that it's a breeze for you now. It's a real breeze. The moon energy, okay? So I feel like, you know, you've been in situations where you always have to keep your emotions to yourself. You haven't been around the right ones yet who will unlock the doorway of your heart. But I feel like that's going to happen now. You know, perhaps you're a mystery to people. Perhaps people have really misinterpreted you because maybe you just don't want to deal with people who aren't on your wavelength. You know, I feel like you keep yourself to yourself when there's no real ones around. But these are the ones you can open up to. People always wanted to get information about you. People always thinking about you. It's because you're chosen to make this world more beautiful. They find you really mysterious and secretive. People you don't want to deal with. They're obsessed with your presence. They're obsessed with your lack of presence. They're really drawn to knowing things about you that they couldn't possibly know. So this is like your backup, but also what you've been waiting for instinctively. Because you won't just tell people anything, you know. And I feel like when you don't give them all your secrets on a plate, you know, just people in general, when you don't tell them all your business, they make stuff up. I feel like you've been misinterpreted. You could have an interesting 12th house placement where people project on you a lot. Oh, that's going to stop, okay? You're flying away from all of that, and the people coming in are going to be the ones who really understand you, and it's going to be so refreshing to not have people making assumptions about you just because you don't have time for them. Childish people, really childish, you know. Knight of Cups energy, the movement of emotion. So you've spent your emotions, which are your potions, in the right way. That's moving you to this whole new world. Let's have a look at this Diablo. Let's have a look at this devil. Show me the world. Okay, so it's the end of that devilish lower world, and we've got the 8 of Pentacles here, 8 again. So the number 888 could mean something for you. I'm getting the jackpot of life, the social jackpot, leading to manifestational power beyond all imagination. Okay, this is really, really magical here. And you've really followed your emotions in the right way here with the Knight of Cups. And there's that wreath again, just to let you know how powerful you are, that you've won. You've beaten the demons of the lower world. All right. And now you're moving into a harmonic chapter. Everything's going to sink into place in the most beautiful, harmonic, sacred, cherubima kind of way. You're meeting your cherub gang, okay? And, you know, you're going to be able to open up to these people in a way that no one else deserved before. And it's gorgeous. 8 of Wands with the Knight of Cups. Get me one more. I want one more. I'm nosy. Protective. Your heart is your protection. We've got a shield on the card here. Your imagination's gotten you here. You know, your heart and your imagination have created this world for you to move into, and you've all done it. You all had to have beautiful imaginations and, you know, beautiful hearts to get here. So they're really proud of you. You know, your ancestors and the beings in the non-physical world are really, really proud of you all being here, ready for this ultimate soul group. 6 of Cups, just to confirm, the most loving, beautiful soul family, soul tribe, harmony, love in all the right places. And you are all conjurers of reality. We get what we focus on, and you focused on all the right things in the right ways. And it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, we create with our minds, we hold a vision in our hearts, we picture something we want to experience, or we feel it, and then we make our way towards the target. And that's how we create our own reality. And you've done it in the most beautiful way. 6 of Cups is soul group energy, soul mates, whatever you want to call it. Gang, gang. All right. So you're going to be so happy in this next phase, and so happy that you cut all the swords out of your life and you beat the lower world, which we've all got to get through if we are to be the masters of our own reality. So you've done it. I love you loads. I hope this reading's helped. Mwah, mwah, mwah.